Hello friends! I have not filmed a video in over a week. You won't know that because my videos will just come out back to back to back. I was playing catch up for the week. My family was out on this ultimate adventure. Violet and I were at home hanging out. It's raspberry picking time though. We've been picking berries all week. Have you enjoyed the raspberries?
Yeah.
Can you show us how you pick the berries? I thought I was gonna come pick some berries, but I think this little one might need a bath. She is all wet and it's getting chilly out here. So we'll come back to the raspberry picking, but the raspberries look better than I can ever remember. Like, they're all just big and beautiful and we're getting a lot. So I'll bring you along as we make some stuff out of them and preserve them. Do you wanna go take a bath?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, let's do it. Okay, on the way to the bath, this is our harvest so far for today. Don't they just look amazing? We actually did get a few more. Those were turned into smoothies.
No.
Do you want some smoothie?
Yeah, Mama.
Look at the color of that smoothie. Do you need a little smoothie, Violet, before you get in the bath?
Yeah.
Okay, my smoothie recipe at the moment is berries, milk, a little bit of sugar, and Greek yogurt. And then I've been filtering out the seeds using a sieve just to make it smoother. We're also making some Ninja Creamis with it. You want more? Please? Say please. Are you all out already? That was quick. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, one more fun thing before bath time. This is from when Hunter and Bennett were little. We saved it in the basement.
No, I'm still little.
No.
No.
Oh, she doesn't like that.
No.
Okay, he's gonna bring it back to you. Beep, 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 beep.
Beef. Beef.
A beep, beep.
Buckle up.
Okay, hold on.
3.
Ready. Hold on. Okay, hands up here. 3,
3,
2, 1, go! Beep, beep. Good job. Good job being careful. Ready, set, go! Yay!
Why did it say beep beep?
Okay, ready? Hands on and she's waiting for you to watch, Bennett. Whee! After 25 rides on the roller coaster, finally convinced her to take a bath.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's take a bath. Got Violet to bed. She was a riot tonight. I am going to put some of these raspberries into the freeze dryer. I'm gonna pre-freeze them. I'm just getting them on trays, a single layer, and then I'm gonna freeze them today. And then we'll freeze dry them tomorrow. Just one way that we can preserve them. Then they can be used, you can powder them after you freeze dry them, or you can just eat them as a snack. Okay, these go in the freezer. These ones are gonna go in the refrigerator till tomorrow and I can do something with them. This is a bunch of fish that the boys caught, so Mark's gonna be packaging that up. I'm gonna take it out and replace it with raspberries. Mark and the boys also brought home all these beautiful Alaska huckleberries, so we're gonna need to do something with those as well. It's berry season. Okay, these little things allow me to stack these freeze drying trays and put them in the freezer.
There's probably like 600, 700, 900 more with these trays.
He's just trying to say we got a lot more berry picking to do.
Yeah.
Okay, out to the sauna. You coming with me, Ev, to the sauna?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Good morning, friends. It's been about 24 hours since I put those raspberries into the freezer. So now I'm gonna get the freeze dryer going and we're gonna put the raspberries in and they'll be freeze drying all day. The freeze dryer needs about 15 minutes to do like pre-freezing mode. So I'm gonna get started and then we're also gonna be making some jam because the berries just keep coming. Okay, these are the settings I have. I think we'll do freeze time for 3 hours. Extra dry time, 2 hours, 30 minutes. It's been a while since I've freeze dried anything, so I'm like trying to remember all the ins and outs of it. So wait 15 minutes before loading trays. Summer just got so busy, the freeze dryer got neglected. So now it's time to start some new projects. Okay, here are the frozen raspberries. Ready to go. Okay, we are almost ready. Almost to 15 minutes. Load trays into freeze dryer. Drain valve is back here. Close that. Okay, it's going into freezing mode. Freeze drying takes a good 24 hours, sometimes more, sometimes a little bit less. So we're gonna move on to making jam. First up, we are gonna do a double batch using this Sure-Gel Original. If I remember correctly, they stopped putting the recipe in the box, which is kind of a tragedy. Thankfully, I have one that I kept years ago and put it in my recipe books. I think they expect you to like scan a QR code and go online now, but who wants to do that? This is freezer jam. We just preferred freezer jam because we've got room in the freezer. We like the way it tastes. You could can jam, do more of a preserved jam, but freezer jam is what works for us. So 12, maybe I should talk and not try and pour at the same time. We're going for 12 cups of berries. There's 4 cups. Hunter has some friends coming over to pick more berries today and make jam. So I figured I needed to have mine made and get rid of these berries that sat out from yesterday. There's 8 cups. And there's 12. Bet we have enough to make 3. Okay, so we need 6 more cups. We have 12 in there. I want 6 more cups. We're gonna make 3 batches at once. Put that in.
Check it out, even. And 4.
These can just go in the fridge. And then you can work on smashing these berries. We need 5 1/4 cups sugar per recipe. So that's 15 3/4.
Wow.
It's a lot of sugar, but it's also a lot of berries. I always like to measure into a separate bowl so that I make sure that I keep track. I also like to write it down on a piece of paper so that I get the right amount. We use this freezer jam for the entire year, but we also like to give it as gifts at Christmas or when we take somebody dinner, like a fresh loaf of bread with some homemade jam.
And some honey.
Or some honey from our bees. We haven't done bees in a few years, but we still have honey. I like to do different size jars so that some are good for gifting. These sizes are really good for our family, but always keep jars on hand so so that when we start to make jam, we have things to put them into. These plastic to-go containers also work well. Because I pre-measured out the sugar, now I can just let Everett add it in and stir it up. After you add the sugar, you let it rest for 10 minutes. Okay, this is gonna sit for 10 minutes and then we're gonna cook up our pectin. Okay, each packet plus 3/4 cups of water into a pot. And we're looking for a rolling boil, and then we set a 1-minute timer. Now that it's mixed in, let's just do this. Very important to tend to this and not leave it alone, and watch it very carefully and keep stirring. I always buy pectin when I find it, especially at the end of the season, so that I have it when I start doing these projects and I don't have to run to the store. But it's not good to keep it for too long because it can go bad. But 1 year has never been a problem for me. I'm using up all but one of my boxes, so I am gonna have to go get a restock at the store. Okay, it's starting to thicken up. It's gonna start boiling. Right now it's just boiling around the edges. We want a rolling boil. Then we'll start our timer. We got a rolling boil. Start timer for 1 minute. Your friends are coming at 11. I'll go get some more pectin if we need it. I have 1, which is 6 cups of berries.
Oh, you used 1?
I used 3. I have 1 left. Okay, our 1 minute is up. Now we move it over and add it to our jam. Timer for 3 minutes. So I usually use a funnel, wide mouth funnel, to help make this cleaner, but it's missing. Ooh, it's already starting to set up. That's a good sign. Now with freezer jam, you want to make sure you leave room at the head so that it can expand. And then you leave it out on the counter for 24 hours and you should be able to tell if it sets up. This is already starting to set up, so that's a good sign. Now you can remove some of the seeds. My family doesn't mind the seeds, so I leave them in there. Added fiber. Some people can't handle seeds. So I will probably make 10 or 12 batches of this freezer jam over the next month. Today we made 3. All right, Hunter just had some friends over. They picked 3 more gallons of berries, made 3 more loads of jam. They're gonna take some home to their families, plus these gigantic bags. But we still got more berries to deal with. And yes, we can just freeze some, but I'm gonna make some fruit leather using the dehydrator. So the dehydrator keeps things chewy, whereas the freeze dryer makes things crunchy. So very different textures. So we're just gonna do applesauce, berries, and if it's a little too tart, we might add some sugar. Now my kids, again, don't mind the seeds, but some people want the seeds removed from this recipe too. It's just a little bit of sugar, very tart. Okay, the dehydrator's on to 160 Fahrenheit. Some sort of cooking oil is important or the stuff just sticks really, really bad. To make round 2. That filled 3 trays. I'm doing a little bit thicker this time because I like a thick, chewy fruit leather. So the amount of time that it takes for these to dehydrate is always a little bit different because of the thickness of whatever I make, because I don't really follow a recipe, however thick I pour the batter. It's hotter in different areas of the dehydrator, so some will get done quicker than others. My test is if you touch them, are they still sticky or are they just, can you peel them off? Like I said, it could take 12 hours, it could take 15 hours, I don't really know. Just have to keep an eye on them. I do rotate them throughout the day to make sure none of them are getting super hot while the other ones are not as hot. And if I get to the point where it's time to go to bed, I'll just turn it off and then start it again in the morning because I don't like to leave it on to over dry out during the night. I did not realize we had homemade applesauce from last year's harvest. Smells good. 2024. This was made with our neighbor's apples from their apple tree. I'm gonna use that for our final round. So it's gonna have a little bit different consistency, but it'll be good. We only had 2 jars left of this. It's not like we have a ton. I just thought we'd already eaten it all. Okay, getting some more berries. We used this entire thing of sugar today. This homemade applesauce tends to be a little bit less sweet, is what I'm trying to say. So, a little bit more sugar. Definitely has a different taste with the homemade applesauce, but good, still good. Final 2. The rest of the applesauce is just gonna get put back in here and my kids will happily eat it just like this too. All right, we'll leave that for the next 12 hours or so. Now it's time to clean up again. My kitchen has pretty much been non-stop raspberry splatters everywhere for the past week. Looks like a raspberry crime scene. Okay. So the rest of these berries are just going into freezer bags to be frozen. At this point, These bags will just be like a big clump of berries that we can thaw out and put in like a pie or a cobbler. I will flash freeze some later and use those as like individual berries that you could put in like a smoothie or something like that. But these ones are gonna freeze into one big giant ball, and that's fine. These 2 bags are going into the freezer, and I already have a sampler of the applesauce. That took less than 10 minutes for someone to find it. I also went and restocked on pectin today. Won't be running out. Bennett pointed out that on the inside of this box, they do have the recipe for the jam, freezer jam, but they don't give you the amounts of sugar and fruit. They just give you the instructions, so that's not super helpful, but interesting. Good morning, friends. I turned off the dehydrator last night when we went to bed around 11 o'clock. Turned it back on this morning. Some of them are getting close. You see they're not as shiny. I can touch it without my finger going through, whereas this one, my finger still moves it. So I'll just start pulling out ones that seem done. Not sure why these ones split. I've never had that happen before, but that one's still a little sticky. Good. This one seems like it's like barely even started, which is kind of crazy. Definitely shows that it's not an even heat throughout the whole thing. This is always the fun part, when you can peel it off. And there's our fruit leather. Some raspberry fruit leather. All right, I'm downstairs. The freeze dryer is at 16 hours and 35 minutes of drying. Still got a bit of time left. It doesn't tell you how much time there is left. It just kind of shows you how long it's been going, and it's getting close to the end. Been working hard all night. We'll be excited to have those for future snacking and baking projects. Okay, it's now noon. I'm getting back around to checking on my fruit leathers. These ones are already all gone from my children eating them. This time I will package some of them up, hopefully. I don't know what happened to these ones. They just like split, but they'll still taste good, hopefully. They're coming off real nice. I'll let them cool for a little while before I package them up. All right, I just walked by my freeze dryer and it was done. Go get the raspberries out. So it went for 32 hours, 36 minutes. Very dry and crispy. Actually eating some cheese right now, cheese and raspberry. So good. I don't know if you can hear the crunch. Since I'm not starting another batch, just leaving the door open, all this ice on the side will defrost on its own and then drain down into that bucket. I'm just gonna close up, put on the shelf for snacking and baking. The other 3, I'm gonna seal so that they stay better. They actually need an oxygen absorber. Let me go grab those. All right, 3 jars, vacuum sealed, ready for snacking through the winter. I missed your anecdote.
This is heavy. I clear my feet.
Yep.
Okay.
Getting the jam out to the freezer.
We need to bring some last jam in.
This is what we have left.
Are these really
Get through.
23? I think they might be 24.
I don't know.
We need to go bring some in.
I've had a very busy Saturday running kids around. When I just drove back home, I drove past the berry patch and I'm like, okay, we need to do some picking. So I've got about 30 minutes to pick. My best thing ever is I bought this last year at the fair and I put a Tupperware in it. It goes around my waist. Now I can pick with 2 hands. It's the best thing ever. My boys found this. It's an LL Bean like fanny pack. It kind of be used for like maybe a fishing thing, but then they stick their thing in there. So now they have one too. Violet's down for a nap. I needed to take a shower. Just got home from the gym, but I figured I'll pick first and then shower. Front of the patch tends to get picked the most. So I'm gonna maybe start a little further back and then come to the front, because everybody tends to pick this front part of the patch quicker, more thoroughly, and then the back gets neglected. See, even me, I'm just like, oh, let's start here. Let's go back a bit. The back also starts a little bit later, but it's starting to get good berries too. The trick about berry picking is you gotta get down, and that's why this comes in so handy. You gotta get down and look under, because you'll see berries from far away, and then you'll get close to the plant and they kind of disappear. So you gotta be willing to do some bending and contorting to get all the berries. I know this video is about raspberries, but this pea plant pea plants have just like, woo, taken off. I think we have some green beans down in here too we need to be looking for. Do that again. We'll do that later. Just stopping for a little snack.
Show them. They're so yummy, but I usually take off this part. Real good.
Nice little snack. Hunter's kind of fell to the side here, but that makes them easier to find the peas.
Oh, big one.
These trellises work so well.
Big ones are right.
Oh yeah, there's some good ones. But we'll come out and do a little pea harvest. Oops, I dropped mine. Okay, back into the raspberry patch. There are a lot of berries that are just a few days away from being ready. We need like a day of sunshine, and then I think we would have another huge batch. There's just a lot that are just really close, but not quite there yet. Quick picking job to make sure none are rotten on the plants. Been snacking along the way. These ones I'm gonna flash freeze so that I can put them in bags that won't stick together. Okay, off to the freezer. Bennett came in with another gallon. So I'm gonna get these into the freeze dryer. Well, actually they're gonna go in the freezer and then into the freeze dryer. Keep going and going with the raspberries here. Bennett made these beautiful looking raspberry lemon streusel muffins for breakfast this morning. Hello Luna, are you hungry? We'll feed you breakfast too. First bite, amazing. Tonight it's family berry picking. We're trying to give the patch a really good pick, but we have picked so many. The kids are like, again? But we're getting berries.
Check out my load. So many. I love this thing. You can do two-handed picking with this so that you don't have to hold the bucket.
You can tuck the lid in too.
Oh yeah.
And then it doesn't tuck it back, then it's not in the way.
Pro tips from Lauren.
Bennett already filled a gallon, so he's bringing a refill gallon out. All right, Bennett brought me a fresh bucket. Violet, are you finding berries? She says, get me out of the berry patch. I've eaten a lot. Oh, are you eating a sugar snap pea? That's a good treat too. Wow, that's a lot of berries tonight.
I got her.
Daddy's got it. Bennett made muffins last night for this morning. We've got another batch going in the freeze dryer. So we're scratching our heads at what we should make with these. We will be making some syrup, but that's kind of a wintertime project. We often just freeze them and turn them into syrup later, but we're gonna have plenty to turn into whatever we want. The freezer. All right, friends, we're gonna try out this raspberry sherbet. See how it is. It's Greek yogurt, milk, raspberries. I did strain out the seeds, some sugar. It's supposed to be nice and smooth, and the Ninja Creami. As you can tell, we are up to our eyeballs in raspberries. We used to open up our raspberries as You Pick Farm. We haven't done that in the past couple years, but I'm kind of thinking we might need to again just because we just have a lot this year. I don't know. We're trying to get friends to come pick, but sometimes everybody's just busy. Everybody's busy. We'll see if we can get some people to come pick, but let's try this out. The other thing that I do want to try is you can make an Italian ice with just raspberry and sugar, but this one's more of a sherbet. Sherbet. We're gonna go with full ice cream. Right, this is what it looks like after spin number 1. Always add a little bit of liquid back in and then do it again.
No. What are you cooking? I could taste
What? Needs another spin.
You didn't add the milk?
I did. It was not quite enough.
Yeah, I need more now. Good but powdery. But really good still.
Okay. We spun it 3 times now. Ooh, yep. Now we got the cream. It's very creamy. I think you could probably be really good with some like mini chocolate chips or something, but we're just doing so nice and soft. I'm a fan. I definitely like that we took the seeds out of this one just for the creamy texture, but 9 out of 10 for me. These ones have been flash frozen for the last 24 hours. This is set 2 of these. We're gonna get them bagged up. The nice thing about these is they will stay separated as long as I get them into the bag, and then you can pull them out easier for making smoothies and stuff like that. You gotta get these into the freezer fast because if they start to thaw, then they'll freeze back together. So these ones were frozen the other day and not flash frozen. You can see all the juice. It's just one big hard block. Whereas these ones will move around and be able to be pulled out. I hope that makes sense, but that's the difference between just freezing and flash freezing. Well, friends, what a journey getting berries into the freezer. I hope you can see that it kind of becomes our part-time job around here during berry season to get as many as we can preserved in a multitude of different ways so that we can enjoy them throughout the entire year. It's a lot of work, but worth it in the end. Thank you so much for coming along for this raspberry journey. We're so grateful for each and every one of you that spends time with us. And we'll see you again real soon for more of This Alaska Life.